The fact that you handed Ross Caldwell his debut last weekend illustrates the fact that you're not afraid to blood in youngsters. Is it correct that Sam Stanson's been added to the squad that's travelling up to Pittodrie?
Yeah, we brought Sam in. He's done quite well in the games I've seen for the 19s, and he played a little bit in the bounce game the other day against St Mirren, and I was very pleased with him. He's got great technical ability and great feet. Needs to put on a little bit of weight at the moment, but that's something we can work on. He's only a young boy, but we firmly believe that if boys are doing well enough, you need to reward them a little bit, and he'll come into the squad. And I'm sure it's a big boost for him as well. He's worked hard at his game. He spoke to James about it, and he's been delighted with him. So, like I said, if the kids are doing well, and firmly believe if they're good enough at that age, we put them in and we'll give them a go.
Is that obviously you achieved great success with Bohemians last season with a very young and inexperienced squad? Is that something that you quite like, the challenge of giving youngsters an opportunity?
Yeah, I think with young players, I think sometimes we forget we've got a lot of young players already in the team, and people talk about some of the young, like David Waterspoon and Danny Galbraith, they're only young boys as well, so sometimes you can forget that, but I think what young players will give you, they give you great enthusiasm. Knowing the game, they might be caught out a little bit, and that's why it's good to have a blend of some experience with them that they can talk them through matches. But they give you enthusiasm and they give you everything that you want. And if sometimes when they're given that, it's better than having maybe senior players in that are not giving it all. So it's trying to get a balance right to make sure that we blood them at the right time. That things are not going great at the moment, so it's not a great time to be throwing loads of kids into the team. But we need to give them a little bit of experience about being around training, being around the senior players, and that's why it's important from a recruitment point of view in future that the players we look at have to be decent players, but they also have to be good professionals that the young boys can learn off.
Continuing on the topic, if we can, on homegrown young players, Cameron Booth's obviously been out of the first team for a while now because of injury. How close is he perhaps to earning himself a recall?
Yeah, he's trained and he played. We played him in the 2 games. We played him on the left side of midfield in both games. I thought he did okay in them. He's trained better this week. I think he's probably, like you say, he might be coming a little bit closer to himself. Again, we need to get a look at him in the game, and I would think that will arise for most of the players probably over the next 2 or 3 weeks, because we've got a lot of football coming up. So I've spoke to people about Callum, and they said he's got real potential. So it's just going to be, he's going to have to be patient at the moment, and when he gets into the team, to take his opportunity.
He's obviously played for Scotland under-21s and played the majority of his career at left back, but do you perhaps perceive him as being a left sided midfielder?
Yeah, I think we look at him maybe moving up one rather than as a left back. I think he's technically very good in the ball. He can pass it, and he sees things. He's good movement. So defensively, he might need to work on a few things, and maybe at left back, he gets older and he might develop into a better left back. But I think at the moment, we're looking at him probably on the left side, or maybe in a narrow 3. I think when he's got ability like he has in relation to, he can get on the ball and he can pass it. Maybe he can do a couple of roles for us.
Finally, without giving too much away, what are you actually going to say to the players before kick-off? Because it is an incredibly significant match in the season. It's probably going to be played in pretty harsh conditions, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
What are you going to say to the team?
Everybody knows. I think it's we need to go and pick up points, and it doesn't matter how we get them. We got to go and get them. We got to scrap for everything. We're now in a battle. Aberdeen are picked up a good win during the week. We can't afford to let that gap develop between ourselves and them. So we got to scrap and fight for everything that's gone. And it's getting to the stage where everything is dependent on the football club being a Premier League team. That's what it's about, and that affects everybody's livelihood and the way everybody approaches the game. And the players have got to realise that, and you've got to give everything. You got to die on the day to make sure that we get something out of the game.